Greetings and salutations, what's good everybody, it's your boy Card, and we are here for Etheria Restart. Essentially, we've been playing this game since 9 a.m. and it's now 7 p.m. Eastern time. And hell, it's almost been 12 hours of straight playing the game. I know a lot of people have been grinding, and so have we. We have chosen the whale route when it comes to Etheria Restart. We already paid a lot of money during the final beta test, especially when we learned about the game the day before the beta test went live, and then today we did it again. I have a separate video which will go over like the different types of summons on the main channel, but for those people that like to see a lot about channel progression, or should I say account progression, this is essentially the video. Now, as you guys can see, we are at level 18, and as you also can see, our animus collection is around 52. We grinded hard, right? First things first, I should have mentioned that we were trying to look for a guild for like an hour because it was like nearly impossible to get into a guild. I then had to like look through like different chats, because in order, like the guild does give you extra bonuses when it comes to, you know, your stamina, your replenishes, your refreshes. So that was one thing we were really trying to do. You may also see that we got the tag Chosen Lucky Dog, and what Chosen Lucky Dog means is when you attain 3 or more SSR in a 10 times summon pool, and that is the luckiest we've been since Hero Kantari came out years ago, when we got like 17 SSRs, or the equivalent of like 5 stars, like back to back to back to back to back to back to back, and then they roll back the account, you know, for everybody. So yeah, fun times back in the day. But essentially our goals, if any of you guys watched the last video, which I released like super late, early in the morning, our goals was to get the majority of our team, and I guess it's time to actually go through them, with baby girl Rosa of course being like one of my #1 targets. So we're gonna go to our animus, and obviously Rosa is our character that we're going to get to level 50 nearly immediately. That's been my goal. It was my goal since the beta, and even though they did nerf her slightly on, you know, basically I believe it was on her skill 1 ability, which for a level 5, which increased the effective turn meter to now 8% instead of 10%. That is insanely the nerf that she would get. But other than that, I believe that Rosa is still going to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes to PvP, which we're not really focusing on for day 1. We're deciding to hold our arena tickets, because essentially when we become way stronger and we have all these other characters, the way that the time gate is set up, that we can just, you know, get like 10 refreshes on the tickets, save them, and then the final day of PvP just start crashing through and start smoking people, because a lot of people right now are just jumping straight into PvP right now. But the way that the math is going to work out for that, you know, the defense arena, it's not really going to matter. The other cool thing about our Rosa is that we actually did get a dupe of her. So I mean, that's something I wasn't really expecting. I know the majority of like guides are saying to build up on the level 2, and while I do agree building her level 2 would most likely be much smarter with our lattices, I decided to actually build up her skill 3 all the way to the max, so we can get that max cooldown, skill cooldown, to reduce it by 1 turn. And essentially, because we also have Lily on this account, which was like my #1 target, and we have a dupe of Lily at that, you know, my goal was now we get to mow down all the PvE targets, we get to mow down some of the union bosses, as well as some of the you know, like Terramatan and Doki Doki, Aurora stuff. Not Terramatan for Rosa of course, but for other things. The next big thing is gonna be actually just getting good shells. Right now I just try to go with whatever we can really get and start to put on like the best stats and attributes, but right now I wasn't trying to put that much into the shells. We had to get other things like Terramatan all the way maxed out today to like truly optimize, and then for, you know, our damage dealers. And now I think day 2 we're going to focus on essentially doing even more gear farming. During the beta I really focused a lot on doing, you know, the leveling up, and I think maybe you know, just to get my feet wet, I just want to see what can be accomplished with a max character. But Rosa, you know, favorite character, waifu of a meta, even though she is a part of the meta. So we actually pulled Heinrich, which I was pretty shocked at. I'd never played him during the actual beta, but I've seen a lot of other people play him, and I've seen what he can do. He could just literally set you up. with a lot of things. So it's great to just a great unit to have. I figured that, you know, after like seeing a lot of people's different opinions on Mio, a character that I was trying to pull for, didn't get a copy of Mio, I decided that, you know what, it was either do we go further with Heinrich or do we try to push Doki Doki, and I decided to push Heinrich. So yes, now that's in retrospect because I already was pushing Heinrich, and then we of course dig a Doki Doki, but we'll get to her in just a second. Next up is the star of the day, Lily. Immediately one of my, I still think she's like the best unit in the game. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are also slobbing on her knob, you know, or just like literally, you know, nonstop glazing Lily. She deserves it because she is just that broken, that good, especially for all the other top tier characters that are in the game. We did get a dupe of her, so it was really lucky. And it's funny, my first time rolling for Lily, I didn't even notice that we actually pulled her because we were skipping so much that we skipped her animation only for the next pull for us to get to be that 3 SSRs and 110 pull, and then the following pull after that to be Lily herself. So we was on a roll. Honestly, I didn't even need to spend any extra money, but we were trying to go for Mio. But Lily, it's the same thing. We're trying to get her, we're trying to just basically just rush with her kit, clear as much PvE content with her. We're eventually going to have much better you know, models and, you know, basically gear to put on her. Beaton, aka the Beyonce out here, she's been a really good unit. I had a lot of disrespect for her, I think, during the beta. Didn't really use her. I even stripped her in the beta. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna really use her. And then I read more of her kit, saw some of the changes that were also going to be implemented, and yeah, she's been an absolute monster. I think right now for arena, I'm also going to be using her a lot. I didn't get Veronica yet, but you know, Veronica is a part of different team theories and team comps that I absolutely want to use. But Beaton has been putting in work. During the beta, I actually was focusing on Doki Doki more than Terramatan, but this time around, focusing hard body on Terramatan. So that's why we also have our Beaton already pumped up to 5 stars. Joining her in 5 stars is Hellkid, who we got really early. Super happy about that as well. We've been trying to push as much damage with him as well, like, because he can be a hybrid unit, but also was a specialty in DPS. Nowhere is his kit nearly done. We need to keep, you know, adding on to attack and get much better, especially when we get to those better gears and whatnot. I do have a dupe of him, so that's what I wanted to mention. I don't have a dupe of Beaton, which I didn't mention beforehand, but we do have a dupe of Hellkid. And that dupe essentially is just giving that increased basic attack, defense, and HP, which is amazing. I should have mentioned this probably for Rosa, but eventually when we get one more dupe for her, that crit rate is going to go crazy. But yeah, Hellkid, great unit, of course. Leon, essentially we're gonna keep powering her up. Right now I think I just took the gear off of her to put it on another character for a rotation that we were doing, I think with like Doki Doki and whatnot, to get that done for the day. But my goal is get through all the free content and the rewards that we need for Leon, and then strip her of everything, and give that gear to other characters that we can essentially utilize. And we're gonna use that free event on her, or the at least the first time for the free event to like basically cleanse your animus of all their abilities and get that rebate back at full value. We're gonna use that on Leanne, but she'll serve her purpose, you know. Her watch will end then. Now listen, day 7 you get Linglo, right? Or Lingwao. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. Someone can correct me in the comment section down below. But day 7, you get this character. Okay, I was all right getting 1 copy of this character while we were going through our rolls, and it was kind of expected, right? What I didn't expect was that we're going to get 2 more extra copies of her. I mean, goddamn. All right, like, she's a great unit. I mean, great unit. But yes, when we do get the 3rd copy of her, essentially she will be I think she will be next to the characters with the most dupes on this account, next to another character who I can't wait to talk about. Maybe not so much, but yeah, she's one of the best units in the game, one of the best healers. I think it's self-explanatory for her. We are using her. I haven't gone the full mile to give her the breakthrough on the star upgrade yet, because I'm still debating on what else I want to utilize, especially when we're talking about pushing content, especially using those stars when I want to, like, so tomorrow Rosa is going to be our first 6-star, and she will be like maxed out level like 50, at least for all her base stats, so you guys can expect that. That's why I'm like holding on the rest of the star upgrade, especially when we got to talk about crafting. A unit I didn't build at all during the first beta was Dinah. After seeing a lot of other YouTubers, a lot of content creators, and listening to a lot of other people, I realized that, yeah, this is kind of what I was missing for my Terramatan runs. And she has been an absolute beast for us to get to 3 stars on Hell 3 on day 1. And using her in this all like fire red team, essentially, where you have her with her stern like her debuff and steel turn meter, along with Heinrich and Hellkid and Beatin, as well as Lena. Like, yo, that we're talking about a whole firestorm right there, right? So it's been amazing using her. Essentially, she's just going to be used for our Terramatan runs to farm more items for gear, and eventually we will level her up, I think, to a max of probably 45, and then that's it. I don't think we're gonna have her at 6 stars or anything like that, because we're not going to be really using her for PvP. Now, baby girl Doki Doki, who I originally wanted during the beta, I will be focusing on her over the next coming days. We did get a duper for her. I should also mention that Lena is maxed out, so that's another reason why we can focus on her a lot. But yeah, Doki Doki, we did get a duper for her. This is why I think I need to start building her a bit more for our PvP teams, especially. And that's something I plan to do like moving forward. Just gotta think about my theory crafting, as well as other people who are going to be having these characters and selecting them to like for counter picks and whatnot. But because we have a very diverse roster, we're gonna be pretty economy poor when it comes to building up multiple characters. That's why I'm only trying to focus on right now. I think we have about 6 characters at the moment that we truly have. But sooner rather than later, especially by next week, we should have even more characters to build from. So Doki Doki is definitely gonna be one of those options. Lilith, yes, we did get a duper for her. I'm not going to be using her for the most part. I mean, I'm not that experienced like with her kit. I particularly, she didn't really impress me during the beta itself. And maybe I could find some utility for her, some different teams that could probably fit that playstyle for PvP. I'm not really intending on using her, so we'll keep it there for now. We'll see if things change over the next couple of weeks or so, but it is what it is. Ziada, I don't know what I want to do with her yet, but we did pull her, so that's cool. No, we don't have any dupes for her. Klaus, this is a character we did get 2 dupes of, and this is a character I do have plans to build within the next day or 2, especially for things like Doki Doki, and I believe even just mainly for Doki Doki, and some other PvP options and PvE options. So yes, I wasn't too high on her during the beta, but that has completely flipped to where she's just that much amazing right now, and we got 2 copies of her, so why not? Especially when you go to see what the dupes do, and that's, you know, the effect accuracy, man. Like, she's gonna be putting in so much work, and now that we know that, of course, dupes have an effect on things, yes, might as well use it. We did get Tiamat, you know, that was pretty cool of us. You know, I wasn't sure if we were gonna like even target her anymore. I mean, she's still good, she's just not broken as she once was, especially beforehand and way before I got into the game. It's still a nice copy to have. I think it's still nice to build, but I'm not giving her as much priority as I would have in the final beta test. Rahu, I believe we got 1 copy. Yes, we did get 1 dupe of Rahu. He's a character that eventually I'm going to like build up, but it's gonna be a while because there's so many priorities that I want to give other characters. Same thing with Real Mocha. I might decide to build her up, mainly because she is our only, like, I guess you say green or wind, you know, DPS character, one of the best DPS characters in the game. So she has her usage, and yes, just gotta find the resources for her once we really start getting into the game for farming. Tsukiyomi is a character I actually used my targeted summon on at the end of everything. When we were done summoning for the day, we spent like an hour or two just purely summoning and getting characters to flesh out different teams, and I was choosing between Tsukiyomi and Veronica, and I decided to go with Tsukiyomi only because she covers way more content, as well as is a beast in PvP, while Veronica I'm using for PvP more so exclusively. But I figured that, you know what, let me start to cover way more content and let the cards fall legitimately when it comes to Veronica, because it's not like I won't have other team comps to use with her, and especially because I don't have Mio on this account. Freya, what can I say? Listen, on the beta test, when it was 100 summons to get to Freya, it took me all the way to 100 summons to get Freya. It happened again. All right, it happened again. It took, you know, once I realized that we were 70 summons into this, I realized that we were going to get her on the 80th summon and then get the same tag from back then. Listen, Freya is a good unit. I just started to not use her towards the end of my run at the final beta test, but I believe she's a great unit and she will be finding ways into the team. I'm not going to prioritize building her kit at the moment because of what I realized towards the end of the beta test, especially for my own theory crafting. I know a lot of people want to be secretive about their builds, and that's why a lot of guilds have been like raising the max levels to like level 31 on like day one, because they want to just ensure only, you know, their teams and whatnot. But we'll be building in public for a lot of these things, and so Freya, yes, we'll start having some, I guess you could say on this channel we're gonna have like different guides, especially because, you know, we're whaling out here, so might as well pick her up before then. Then we have Borden, right, who we actually just got an extra dupe of, so you saw that in real time. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with him, if we're gonna do anything with him at all, so it just remains to be seen. I'll keep you guys updated in regards to him. Shadow Sonya, man, I never had this unit during the final beta tests, and now I can't stop getting this unit. I just can't stop. Like, she just keeps on coming. She won't stop coming, bro. All of my rolls for the SSR on the Xfinity banner or whatever it's called have literally been Shadow Sonya. It is crazy. So we do got 2 dupes of her. And sure, I know she's gonna have her usages, but I would have preferred to have literally nearly any other you know, lighter dark unit. It is what it is. We'll find some uses from her. There's no reason not to. She has 2 dupes on her, so we'll find something for her. A character who we got 2 dupes of that I'm not mad about is Klaus, who we got a Clorox. This man is going to be the Union boss farmer for us. I have some sneaky stuff for him in PvP, which I talked about in previous video, but you know, I'm actually happy that we got him early. He was one of our targets to get, and so eventually, hopefully the team in Union that I'm currently in is active, but if it's not active, then I'm willing to like join other guilds that are going to be active, especially if they're going to be trained towards PvP. That's, to me, is the thing I value the most right now. People who are gonna be actually aiming for PvP, you know. So that's pretty much with Klaus. After that, we're gonna get into all the SR units. The majority of them have, you know, their stuff maxed out. So there's Dorothy, Ray is maxed out, Kazumi, I believe her name is. She has like 2 dupes on her. Oboro, she's maxed out. So I'm not using her at the moment. Victor, I believe we just got him maxed out. He's not as good as he once was, so it is whatever. This Chiaki, she's maxed out, but I'm not gonna really be using her. Chiaki the Echo, that's something different. We did get her maxed out this time. I did not have her maxed out on the final beta test, but I think I can get some utility with her. So I do plan to use her in the near future. In terms of Sutumo, he's maxed out. Never used him during the final beta test. I'm most likely not going to use him during our current run. RC77, another character maxed out in terms of the dupes, so Probably not going to use him yet. Kraken is a character I do plan to use. It's not that he's terrible at all by any stretch of the means, especially when you could buy him with Marvel. It's just that, you know, I gotta find time to build a team around that, right? So Kraken, stay tuned. You have Yang, who I am just not going to be using at all right now, at least for some turn. So at least for team comps, we'll have to see for the future. Both Rins, I believe they're both maxed out. Oh no, one of them is not maxed out. So we have Rin, who's the regular one, and then we got Rin the Unbound, who is our blue devil, I guess you could say. Well, water blue devil, if you want to call it. She's not maxed out. I don't plan on using them. Sonya, I do plan on using her in the near future. I used her a lot during the final beta test, even with the glitch that was going on, so it's not so bad, right? Ditting, right? Ditting. He has his uses as well. He's also max dupe, so why not in the near future when we farm guild gear that can fit for him. This Dorothy, we're not going to be using. This character here, which is Viper, pretty much not going to be using. Then we have Valorant, who we are actually going to be using in the future. She's a light unit. She's going to have some utility, and basically using her for PvE content. Marvel. Now, I know a lot of people are very, very high on Marvel. We have him max duped, so I will be using him. I know he's not as good as he was in the final beta text, but it's like the drop off isn't that insane. So Marvel and Kraken are like the two characters absolutely we're going to be trying to use and abuse. This character here, Makoto, I have no idea what she is going to be primarily used for. We don't really have much data on her. People don't really know because she's a brand new character. But this wound ability sounds very intriguing to me. So don't be surprised if I end up using her. We didn't get any dupes of her, so that was pretty interesting as well. Obol, I think we have max for him, so yeah, we're gonna not be using him. We have this Kazuyu, all right, the Revere, she's max duped as well. Then we have Tundorat, who is not max duped, or we have 2 copies for her. Okay, well, there we go. So she's not max duped, but we do got 2 copies for her. Not too sure about what we can use for a kit. Might be really niche, but we'll see. Fangus, there's a guild called Only Fangus out there, which is kind of funny, but we will not be using Fangus for now. Then we have Kachi, not going to be using him, but he's maxed out. This Kachi, not going to be using him, but he's maxed out. Sibley, same thing, maxed out, not using her. We're never going to be using any of these Andrews, bro. It's just not happening unless we want to troll around. Unless we actually want to troll around, we're not using any of these rare units. Number 41, not using. We already have max copies for them. And Vice and Asu, we're not going to be using, but they are also essentially all maxed out. So that's pretty much when it comes down to the characters. Tomorrow we're definitely going to be focusing on a lot of shell progression, as well as progression when it comes to the other outposts. So I have to work on the disorder, right? I still got to do disorder. Odd, I have to finish up so we could get to you know, at least I think it's Nightmare, maxed out Nightmare. I believe on day 2 the max you can get up to is like level 28. We'll see how much we can actually push, especially with our guild. But we do have constant at level 3. Normal, like I said, we'll work on that. I did forget about it in the grand scheme of things. I think we could have easily got to hard 3 if I remembered it. I just was pushing so much on Reason and Odd, especially on those fire units to farm the hell out of Terramatan. We're already maxed out here for our investigation, so you know we did spend a lot of I didn't spend as much resources this time around going on leveling up as I did on the first run, so that's stuff that we can do. I still gotta challenge this, which, you know, we'll make sure to do that. We already completed the cubic game and our remaining dices is done. This side challenges can still give us some new things to work with, some more gear to also get as well. So these are things that we're still going to try to do and accomplish more of for tomorrow. Not going to get all the way through for the echoes, but yes, this lingual echo, like, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like I believe this lingua is gonna give us another like echo and whatnot. So like, yo, by the time we get to her, bro, she might be actually maxed out. She might be our first, like, you know, maxed out animus, like A6 out here, like craziness. Grim Pursuit wise, we already got to normal with Kururu. I think I could try tonight if I wanted to, because we just reached the 10 capsules, to see if we can do hard 3. I mean, if you guys want to see it, we'll probably do it at the in like tomorrow's video or something like that. And I think, what is it, last but not least was the Terramatan and Doki Doki. Yeah, so we're at hard 3 for Terramatan and just 1 star on Doki Doki. Once again, we focus a lot more Terramatan today, but I do have the units that can transition over to Doki Doki with the gear. I don't know why I couldn't say this word right now, but it is what it is. It's been a long day. We've been streaming for a while, and we're about to be streaming again in another 3 or 4 hours or so for anime, for our anime channel, anime content. So the grind has been super real with content for today. Once again, this is where everything has been left off with. For those of you that have seen it before, you guys literally can add me. It's a card you could follow. The guild we have is Armageddon. In the Armageddon guild at the moment, or union, whichever you want to call it, just welcomed 2 new members. So that's pretty cool. We are at 11 members at the time of this recording. I think 1 person just dropped, because I think we were at 10 and then 2 people joined and then 1 person dropped. So something like that. Yeah, let me see, like it says our members here and whatnot. But yeah, essentially this is did he actually just get kicked in real time? That's kind of funny. His man was like, yeah, I'm here until the guild leader says, yeah, goodbye. No, he's still there. Okay, that would have been funny as hell. But yeah, for anybody that wants to join, they can request to join. I believe right now the guild leader has it like free to open. We're looking for active members, of course, so gotta promote the guild as much as possible. In terms of like our energy remaining, today's highest, I believe it's me at the moment. I think so, I'm not sure. I know I just played like 4 rotations or runs for this and whatnot, and our challenger rankings is, you know, nowhere near the tops just yet, but we're trying to get there, you know, we're trying to get up there. So I think, yeah, so I'm still second in that tier. Like I said, we tried this like 5 rotations, so that was pretty cool. Working on getting our units and our gear much better for tomorrow, something that we really didn't focus on as much as we should have during the final beta test run, and that's also because I was partly in Japan for other things. So that's all I want to show off for today's progression. Of course, this is a whale vlog, so we're not like other people who focus on free to play. We just focus on, I guess you could say, pay to win. If you want to call it pay to win, it is what it is, but you still gotta have some type of skills. You can buy all the units in the world, but then if you you can just literally just wreck your account and brick it by investing in the wrong type of items, because even if you recycle them, you're not going to get back exactly everything that you paid for. So that's all I gotta say for this video. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are, and I'll be catching you guys on the flip side. Go ahead and subscribe to YouTube if you want to catch the streams. Once again, they're going to be on the main channel, which is the Card Tensei TV, but all the other videos and the sweaty stuff and the breakdowns are going to be on this channel, which is under our card clips. Probably going to change the name because we're going to have a lot of stuff that's just not only gacha content, but if people just only want the gacha content, well, this channel is going to be the sweaty stuff. So I'll be catching you guys later, and I'll be posting that summons video on the a Card Tensei channel for those people that care about the summon stuff. So with that said, I'll catch you guys for another video tomorrow, and until then, doses.